much to offer to the best talents. You gotta hire the best people, right? As everyone's advising. How would you find the best people with limited resources you can offer? How would you motivate them?
So ideally, so what's brand? But like the most fundamental question: what's your personal brand? What's reputation? Brand is, or like brand in like a car, like a Mercedes. A brand is a set of compounding events and experiences. So brand is really just a bunch of experiences. So you yourself have a brand among all the people you work with historically. You ideally have a brand or a reputation where people are more coming towards you. And that kind of amplifies your limited amount of firepower to a greater amount of firepower. So it's a shitty answer, but what it basically means is like, you have to be somebody people want to work with regardless of the money and all the other things. That's very hard. As somebody who raised $10 million from Mark Andreessen as a first step, and the first like handful of employees say, when I ask them, why did you join? They're like, we raised $10 million from Mark Andreessen. Like that's like, so that's also the pragmatic reality of like, you do have to somehow create enough of an attractive thing, and it could be through you invested in your market you're playing in. You particularly know this market so well that other people are like, wow, you really know this market. And when you explain this market, I believe it because it seems to logically make sense based on how you communicate to me. So I think it's like, it's like a Confucian saying, like, how does a gorilla learn how to fly? It stops being a gorilla. So how do you learn how to recruit people? You have to. You have to. And this whole nonsense that everyone wants to hire the best. Every company thinks they have the best people, period. You have to be radically pragmatic. When you're a young company, you have to recruit among your network and people. And so just do that. The thing that founders also underestimate, and young companies underestimate, is the momentum. As the company gets more customers and it gets more revenue and then it gets that first round of funding and it gets more people, now you will be able to attract people that you weren't able to attract before. So there's like some of that like practicalness of like our employee number one was a friend of mine. And it was very simple. He's a multi-time founder. I called him, Alan Elshitrai. I called him and I said, Alan, your dog shit company's not going to work out. You should come work at Applied. And he was like, I appreciate the vote of confidence. And I was like, no, really.
I write that down.
Yeah, I was like, really, this thing is gonna, just take, I literally just convinced him. We interview him. We had the right to interview him. Even though it's coming out of YC, even though Mark Andreessen gave us $10 million. I'm just trying to sell him to get one person in. And then our second employee, the third one, I remember when, I know these guys far full, and then when we had I would say more branded people, like Varun, PhD from Stanford, who has no business joining a sub-5 employee company, he looks at the employees and is like, you managed to recruit some good people, but the second person is attracted to the first person who was a former founder. So they just, even within that first 2 months, you're just getting that momentum going. So I don't know, live to fight another day and just recruit whoever you can. That's what I would say. That's my radically honest truth. Recruit whoever the hell you can to get into your thing and get some momentum and then find the lazy Googlers later.
Just follow up with this.
Any chance I get a chance to punch Googlers, I do. I love Google. I've never sold this here.
I didn't introduce myself. The Slinsky Global World, you connect founders and investors to the platform. But the question to follow up here is, just to finish, isn't it a big trade-off if you find a person that you want to work for you, maybe not a co-founder, but maybe like a first employee, or maybe like a minority co-founder. And the trade-off would be like they would be working part-time, just to compensating as a company. So
I'm just such a straight man, right? In the sense of I like to do things in the most non-fussy way. And the non-fussy way is you're going to be full-time, and I'm going to be full-time, and we're going to work together. It's like, it's like you're kind of negotiating a suboptimal situation, and that becomes your culture. You're willing to cut corners. Because then, the next employee comes, and then your first employee is only happy because they're working still on their PhD. So the next employee's not that committed because the first employee, it's like property, don't do that stuff. But again, I'm just running really clean terms. I think fundamental, just to extrapolate why I believe in this like cleanliness in these types of things. It's like you're already going to meet enough problems building a product and getting customers and then getting them to pay for it and then getting them to continue to use it and continue to pay for it. Then you do all these other nonsense, part-time people, and there's only so many problems you can tackle all the time. Like you have co-founder problems. Every time you think about a co-founder problem, you're not thinking about your customer, your product. And so it's just like, again, radical pragmatism. And I've never woke up, you know, the top of mind has never been, Peter and I have an issue. Never. You know how much of a luxury that is for 8 years? So we don't have to pull in the same way. And by the way, that all propagates to your people around you. The other managers, they see that. They see where these guys that get along all the time. So then they emulate that. It's like family, you know, family, like the parents are kind of, you know, not aligned, the kids